The 100th Divorce was final. Full movie review, StarWire USA. Welcome back to StarWire USA. Today we're reviewing The 100th Divorce Was Final, an emotional relationship drama that explores heartbreak, second chances, self-worth, and the difficult decisions people face when love reaches its breaking point. Rather than relying on constant plot twists, the film focuses on the emotional journey of its characters, making it a compelling choice for viewers who enjoy mature romantic dramas with strong performances and meaningful themes. One of the film's biggest strengths is its emotionally grounded storytelling. Instead of presenting relationships in black and white, the screenplay acknowledges that marriages often struggle because of poor communication, misunderstandings, pride, and emotional distance. The story encourages viewers to think about how trust is built and how easily it can be damaged when honesty disappears. This realistic approach gives the film a sense of authenticity that many romance dramas fail to achieve. The lead actress delivers an impressive performance, portraying a woman determined to rediscover her confidence after years of emotional disappointment. Her performance feels sincere and relatable, balancing vulnerability with quiet strength. Rather than making her character seem perfect, the film allows her to make mistakes, learn from them, and gradually grow into someone who values her own happiness and self-respect. The male lead also brings emotional depth to his role. His character is written with flaws that make him believable rather than idealized. As the film progresses, viewers witness a person forced to confront the consequences of his choices and reflect on what true commitment really means. This balanced characterization helps the audience understand multiple perspectives instead of simply assigning blame to one side. Visually, the movie maintains a polished and elegant presentation. The cinematography favors intimate close-up shots that highlight emotional expressions, while warm lighting and realistic locations create a grounded atmosphere. The production design is simple but effective, allowing the performances to remain the primary focus throughout the film. The soundtrack deserves praise for its subtle approach. Gentle piano melodies and orchestral arrangements complement the emotional moments without becoming overwhelming. Instead of manipulating the audience's emotions, the music quietly enhances the dramatic impact of important scenes. Another highlight is the screenplay's mature exploration of forgiveness and personal growth. Rather than suggesting every broken relationship can or should be repaired, the film emphasizes that healing begins with honesty, accountability, and self-respect. It reminds viewers that sometimes the most important relationship is the one people build with themselves before trying to rebuild connections with others. The pacing is deliberately slow, which may not appeal to audiences expecting nonstop drama. However, viewers who appreciate character-driven storytelling will likely enjoy the film's patient approach. Every emotional moment feels earned because the screenplay takes time to develop its characters instead of rushing toward dramatic conclusions. While the movie occasionally follows familiar romance drama conventions, it rises above them through thoughtful writing and emotionally believable performances. The chemistry between the lead actors feels natural, and the dialogue avoids unnecessary melodrama, making the emotional conflicts more relatable and impactful. Overall, The 100th Divorce Was Final is a heartfelt relationship drama that succeeds because it values emotional honesty over sensational storytelling. It delivers strong performances, mature themes, beautiful cinematography, and a thoughtful message about love, trust, forgiveness, and personal growth. Although its slow pacing may not suit everyone, those who enjoy emotionally rich romantic dramas will likely find it both engaging and rewarding. StarWire USA rating story. White medium star, white medium star, white medium star, white medium star, 4.5/5. Acting. White medium star, 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 5/5. Screenplay. White medium star, white medium star, white medium star, white medium star, 4.5/5. Cinematography. White medium star, white medium star, white medium star, white medium star, 4.5/5. Music. White medium star, white medium star, white medium star, white medium star, 4.5/5. Emotional impact. White medium star, 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 5 out of 5. Overall rating, 9.1/10. Final verdict. The 100th Divorce Was Final offers an emotionally engaging viewing experience built on strong performances and mature storytelling. Its focus on communication, self-worth, and emotional healing makes it a worthwhile watch for fans of character-driven romantic dramas, even if its measured pacing won't appeal to every viewer. One of the film's greatest accomplishments is its mature treatment of relationships. Rather than portraying marriage as a fairy tale or a complete disaster, the screenplay acknowledges that long-term relationships require constant communication, patience, understanding, and compromise. Emotional distance rarely appears overnight, and the story carefully demonstrates how years of misunderstandings, unmet expectations, and unresolved conflicts gradually create cracks that become impossible to ignore. This realistic perspective makes the narrative resonate with audiences because it reflects experiences many people can recognize in their own lives. The film's strongest asset is undoubtedly its character development. The protagonist is written as someone who initially struggles under the emotional weight of disappointment and repeated heartbreak. However, instead of allowing pain to define her identity, she slowly begins to rediscover her confidence, independence, and personal worth. This transformation is never rushed. Every emotional breakthrough feels earned because the screenplay gives the character time to reflect, learn from mistakes, and rebuild her life one step at a time. Watching that emotional evolution becomes one of the most rewarding aspects of the entire movie. The male lead is equally well developed. Rather than presenting him as either a perfect hero or an obvious villain, the film portrays him as a flawed individual whose poor decisions carry lasting emotional consequences. The film's strongest asset is undoubtedly its character development. The protagonist is written as someone who initially struggles under the emotional weight of disappointment and repeated heartbreak. However, instead of allowing pain to define her identity, she slowly begins to rediscover her confidence, independence, and personal worth. This transformation is never rushed. Every emotional breakthrough feels earned because the screenplay gives the character time to reflect, learn from mistakes, and rebuild her life one step at a time. Watching that emotional evolution becomes one of the most rewarding aspects of the entire movie. The male lead is equally well developed. Rather than presenting him as either a perfect hero or an obvious villain, the film portrays him as a flawed individual whose poor decisions carry lasting emotional consequences. His journey centers on accountability, self-awareness, and the difficult realization that love alone cannot repair a relationship without trust, honesty, and consistent effort. This balanced characterization adds emotional complexity and prevents the story from becoming one-sided. The chemistry between the two lead actors feels natural throughout the film. Their performances rely more on subtle facial expressions, restrained dialogue, and believable emotional reactions than on overly dramatic confrontations. As a result, even quiet conversations carry significant emotional weight. The audience can sense years of shared history between the characters, making every interaction feel meaningful regardless of whether they are speaking or simply sharing moments of silence. The supporting cast also contributes significantly to the story's emotional richness. Friends, relatives, and colleagues provide different perspectives on marriage, forgiveness, loyalty, and personal happiness. These characters help broaden the film's themes without distracting from the central relationship. Instead, they remind viewers that every relationship exists within a wider network of family expectations, social pressures, and personal responsibilities. Visually, The 100th Divorce Was Final embraces a grounded cinematic style. The cinematography avoids flashy camera movements and instead focuses on intimate close-ups that capture subtle emotional changes. Wide shots are carefully composed to emphasize loneliness, emotional distance, or the growing separation between characters even when they occupy the same physical space. This thoughtful visual language quietly reinforces the film's psychological themes. Lighting is another area where the production excels. Warm, natural light often accompanies scenes of vulnerability and emotional honesty, while cooler tones dominate moments of uncertainty, regret, and emotional conflict. These artistic choices never feel forced, yet they consistently strengthen the emotional atmosphere without distracting from the performances. The production design deserves praise for its realism. Homes, Offices, restaurants, and everyday environments appear authentic rather than overly stylized. Costume choices remain simple but effective, subtly reflecting each character's personality and emotional state as the story progresses. These details help immerse viewers in the film's world while maintaining its grounded tone. The musical score complements the emotional storytelling beautifully. Gentle piano melodies and understated orchestral arrangements create an atmosphere of reflection rather than manipulation. The filmmakers wisely understand that silence can sometimes be more powerful than music, allowing many emotional scenes to unfold naturally without overwhelming the audience. This restrained approach enhances the authenticity of the performances. The screenplay also explores several universal themes beyond romance. One of its strongest messages concerns self-worth. The film argues that genuine love should never require someone to abandon their dignity or emotional well-being simply to preserve a relationship. Instead, healthy relationships depend on mutual respect, honest communication, accountability, and emotional maturity. This thoughtful perspective transforms the movie from a simple romantic drama into a meaningful exploration of personal growth and resilience. Forgiveness is another major theme handled with remarkable maturity. Rather than portraying forgiveness as automatic or guaranteed, the story suggests that healing is a deeply personal process. Sometimes forgiveness means rebuilding a relationship, while other times it means letting go, accepting the past, and moving forward with greater wisdom. This nuanced approach gives the narrative emotional depth rarely found in conventional romance films. From a technical standpoint, the editing maintains a steady and deliberate rhythm. Emotional scenes are given enough time to breathe, allowing viewers to absorb the characters' thoughts and feelings without feeling rushed. The pacing may seem slow to audiences expecting constant dramatic twists, but for viewers who appreciate character-driven storytelling, this measured approach becomes one of the film's greatest strengths. Although the movie occasionally follows familiar romance drama conventions, it consistently elevates them through intelligent writing, emotionally layered performances, and mature direction. Rather than chasing spectacle, it remains focused on exploring the complexities of trust, communication, emotional healing, and personal transformation. That commitment to authenticity makes the story feel both heartfelt and believable.